Guys, if you want to know the exact meeting flow that we use to create a seven-figure gym, I want you to make sure you listen to the podcast I just mapped out. Every single meeting that you need to have, how to plan those meetings, and how to get the most out of your team so you can have a seven-figure business or a high six-figure business and not have to do all the work yourself, and you can get your team to help you. Meetings with your team are going to free you up time. If you want to have a high six-figure or seven-figure business, I'm going to teach you the meeting routines that worked really well for my club. Were able to free me up to make sure our team are doing what we need to do so we're consistently growing, and also to a position where I was able to have holidays and not be absolutely tied down within my business. So first of all, you have to kind of know where you're at. So, as you're kind of systemizing yourself out of the business, which I'll cover in a future podcast, but you want to make sure that you have the manager in place for a lot of these meetings. Now, at the moment, you're probably the manager of this business, okay? So you need to make sure you set these up, and it becomes critically important when you have a team that you do these incredibly consistently. And what I always think about any meeting is it must add value to everyone within that meeting, right? Don't run a meeting that's really poorly planned. You do your, meeting agendas for everything like a couple of days ahead of time. So everything's ready. Everyone knows why they're there and they can get the most out of it. So first of all, guys, on a Monday, you're going to have your team meeting, and that's going to look over the numbers for the week. What's upcoming with the marketing, our retention, any cancellations. We also cover like anyone who we're, worried about who might be like red flagged in the business based on our tracking data of their, like how many sessions they've done and their results and things like that. And then also in this meeting, right, you really want to make sure that you plan everything that the team needs to do this week to win and fulfill their role. Okay, so everyone in the business who has a full-time role or maybe works as a part-timer is going to have a checklist. And that's the stuff that they need to do every day. So in this meeting, it's not about telling them to do stuff that's on their checklist. It's about giving them those extra tasks, right? And always thinking, one of the greatest quotes, and I think Tony Robbins said this, is who can do my tasks, right? Who can do your work for you? And that's like what a true business owner does. You hire a team who can do the work for you. Right. So what you're going to do is to pass on those extra tasks so it doesn't end up being you who's doing absolutely everything in the business. Okay. So this meeting goes for an hour. We also do a heat check of how our session's going, how can we improve them, and everything like that. And you want to make sure you absolutely rock this meeting. And the end goal that from this meeting is that everyone knows the numbers and how everything's going in the business. But then also that everyone is really clear on what they need to do this week to win and what a successful week looks like for your team. Okay, that's why you're running this meeting. So you don't have to do 50 other meetings during the week to recap stuff. You're there to say, hey, do you know how to do this? Or like, do I need to make you a video? Or do we need to turn into a tighter system? Like, are you okay to complete these tasks within the business this week? Now, at the start, if it's just you running these, you might not have to do this. You can just do your daily planning. But we would also, so that team meeting would be on Monday afternoon. And on Monday morning, we would meet with our managers to plan this. Because when you're an owner and you're not managing it, the manager's actually running this team meeting. You're not there, right? You don't have to be here for most of these if you have a manager. But if you're currently managing the business, you need to obviously be there. So for the managers meeting, for those who have a manager, that's where you just meet up with the manager for 30 minutes to 60 minutes, look over the KPIs of the business and let them know what the business needs to do to grow this week, and also get their advice on, hey, what do you have planned for the team? We've got this referral challenge. Is it all set up? Is it all ready to go? So that's your time with the manager that you have. And I want you guys to all get to that level where you don't necessarily manage your business, but you can be an owner. If you want to manage your business forever and you love it, that's totally okay. But I want you to know that you can have a fitness business where you only work 2 hours a week in it, and you can focus on other things that you want to do in your life. Now, the next meeting that we had, which was on a Tuesday, and we had full-time staff, so it makes this a lot easier, is we would actually have a retention meeting for 1 hour where we'd focus on retention. So we'd look over all the client results, we'd look over the check-ins, we'd message the people who have trained under 3 times to make sure that we have them booked in, because that was one of our key metrics, that if a person trained over 3 times in our club, they stayed much longer than those who didn't. And then we'd also, send out the birthday cards. We'd send out our welcome cards to the new members. We'd send out like little prizes and gifts for people who are getting absolutely amazing results. And for that 1 hour, everyone in the business is maniacally focused on retention, but then also on referrals as well, which we do for the last 15 minutes of that meeting. So every person within your business should have a KPI of getting you 1 referral for that business every week. Now, especially if you're in a stage where, like at the moment, if you're managing and running the classes, you should be getting 1 referral every week. But when you get to a stage where you're managing the club and you're not around and you're not in the classes and you're not training, that actually transfers to your coaches. So if you have 2 or 3 coaches, I want you to think, how amazing would it be if every single week over the next year, they all just got 1 referral, which is really super realistic. Because if you have 3 coaches in your business, that's 152 leads you'll generate over the next 12 months. And, you're teaching them how to get referrals, how to ask. Obviously in that meeting, we're looking for high points and really great results that people are getting, so we can actively ask them, because the people who are getting amazing results and your most active users and who are loving the club are more likely to refer than those people who aren't. So in that meeting, the big outcome you want to have is to identify any orange or red flags within your business, like people who you think might be canceling, they're, missing sessions, their attendance isn't up, they might not be replying to people, and get those people locked in to make sure that they're staying in the long term. Right. So say this to a lot of people, when the difference is, like, when you have like 50 members, retention's easy. Try retention when you have 250, 300 members, and it's tough. You really need to map this stuff out, because your gym's a lot bigger. The culture's changed. It's a lot busier. It's a lot more vibrant. You don't know everyone on that fully personal level anymore, because there's new people coming in and everything like that. So you want to have this meeting where you're purely focusing on retention. And then in the last 15 minutes, you'll focus on referrals, so everyone can hit their referral KPI for the week. Now, the next one, and people do this a little bit differently. We did it weekly, or you can do it fortnightly. But the manager wants to meet up with each coach once a week or once a fortnight. I prefer weekly, just to keep our finger on the pulse. It's just a 30-minute meeting. Now, within that meeting, you're going to be looking over that trainer's KPIs for the week. So every person in your business has a clear set of key performance indicators, so they know that they're being successful in their role. They'll also look over their operations checklist to make sure everything's being done and it's done on time. And they'll also check over their Asana, which is a project management tool, where, remember I said on Mondays how we give everyone tasks. We don't just give it to them on a piece of paper or say that. We load it into their Asana. So it's like, hey, plan the, market, the referral post on Wednesday. Like, it goes out on Wednesday at 9 a.m. and it's all in there so they can't forget. And that's why, like, Asana and task tracking tools are so important. I highly recommend, as soon as you have one staff member in your business, that you get Asana, so that when you have, maybe 3, 4, 5, and 6, you're already used to using it and no one forgets things, and you can always like check up. Okay. Now, also in this meeting, guys, it's not just like where you're just asking lots of questions. You're doing the health check, right? How's everything going in your personal life? Where do you want to, see yourself in 12 months? What would you like to learn to become a better trainer? And you're starting to really mentor and coach these people every single week to become amazing humans, to win in life, but also to win in business and to grow your business. Because a happy and healthy staff member is going to grow your business, right? If they're having troubles at home with their partner, their wife, their husband, whatever it might be, okay, they're going to, as much as they say, like, don't bring it into work, they're going to bring that into work, right? So you want to make sure that you always have their back and you're really caring for them, and that they're always growing. Because not everyone, money's really important, but if your staff are growing and they're bought in on your culture, then they're going to stay with you for a very, very long time. Now, the next meeting that we have is after we had like a group training business. So after every block of classes in the morning, once we'd finished stretching everyone down, saying goodbye to everyone, we would run a morning huddle. And I learned this off, I think it was a Vern Harnish, a really, really, really good book called Scaling Up. But in this morning huddle, what we would cover is these questions, and it only takes 5 minutes. What went well this morning? What didn't? Is there anything, the manager should know about or be aware of? And then we'll ask these: are you able to complete your checklist 100% today plus your other tasks? Yes or no? So then we're getting verbals. Everyone will be like, yep, I can finish it. I'm going to finish my checklist, finish Asana. And then we'll also do a heat check. Now, within that heat check, we would ask, how were the classes this morning? How can we improve them by 10% in the evening? Is there any feedback or anything we could have done better? So that way we're getting this 360 reviews from our coaches, and they're looking internally on what they can do to improve. Because if you go, hey, Jimmy, how could you improve the sessions today? I'll be like, they sit and they think and they ponder it, and they're like, I could have had more energy. Actually, wasn't 100% today. I'm going to, make sure I get a better night's sleep. And you're like, awesome. Let's do that then. Okay. Because you always want to be reviewing and then not necessarily changing the programs, right? But how they can make them better and how they can improve as coaches. And that worked really, really well for us. So all the people working the morning classes would do that. And then immediately after that, they would do a 5 to 10 minute radical clean of the gym. This was before coronavirus. So they would clean the bathrooms, because your bathrooms always have to be clean. There would be one person who's marking off the cleaning checklist, would be wiping everything down, getting rid of the chalk, making sure everything's in a perfect position, and that the gym is incredibly neat and tidy for everyone. We'll do that as a team, and then they can go off and do their personal training or go grab a coffee or go grab breakfast or, whatever they need to do. But if you add that meeting in, it's going to be absolutely incredible. Then you also want to add in, when you have your classes starting at 5:30 in the morning or 5:15, you want to add in a little 5-minute meeting before those that the trainers have, because we want to have the world's best product. And this happens in the afternoon as well. So within that session, in that quick meeting, it literally goes for 2 or 3 minutes. It's like, do we know all the exercises? Do we know the flow? What's my role of the coach? We would have A side and B side, one person looking after one part of the gym, the other person looking after the other. Right? They would also look, do we have any new clients coming in today? So they're aware of that if everyone's in their first 3 sessions. We'd also have a look over, and is it anyone's birthday today? So we can make sure that we actively say happy birthday to them, right? And then the trainers would say, what are we looking to get out of today? What's our intent? So they're already setting that intent before they come in. They're not just rocking into work and starting sessions. They're there 15, 20 minutes early. They're having these meetings. Then they go in before our classes start and they go and communicate with the clients. They'll do some stretching with them. They'll do some value add and some community stuff, but they've set their intent and they know exactly each other's role, and that any questions or issues that could arise in the session are already covered during, because they know that we send our secret shoppers through, which again, I'll do in another podcast for you, but because they know that the secret shoppers are coming through, which essentially are people who check the quality of our session from an external third party of eyes, they're always on the ball and they make sure that they always do this and they can always deliver absolutely incredible sessions. Now, the next one is more of an owner's one, but you would also do it with the managers. Okay, so we would do our KPI and planning session every Thursday. Now, when I was at my clubs at the end of it, this was the meeting that I would come. So I would just check over the KPIs every week and help with the planning with the manager. Okay, so when you're at a completely outsourced level, this will be a meeting that's very, very important for you to do. If you're the manager now, I highly recommend getting your KPIs, every week, whether it be a Thursday or a Friday, so you can plan your next week ahead of time. Now, you're going to be looking over the KPIs and not letting your emotions dictate where you're going, but letting the numbers, right? Your numbers drive your direction. So you're looking at your leads, you're looking at your trials, your sales, your cancellations, the amount of people in suspension, all these amazing numbers, right, that tell you the health of your business. And what that's going to do is give you a clear, actionable plan for next week. It might be that you need to go and get, more leads. It might be that you need to, focus a team on improving the sales systems and doing their follow-ups and getting more people, booked in. It could be that you're noticing a trend that retention's dipping. So that Tuesday retention meeting that you're having, you're going to step it up another 30%, right? And focus on the quality of the sessions. This meeting is incredibly important, so you know exactly where your business is at and you can know the health of your business. And the last one isn't necessarily a meeting. It's more just we do it in the daily huddle and check in. But on Friday, we do a check-in and review, which is like, hey, how are you going with all your weekly tasks? Is everything going to be completed, including your checklist on Friday? So this can be done with a quick phone call from the manager. It can be done for those staff who are working in the daily huddle, but you just want to make sure that you're checking in with them to ensure that everything you asked of them to get done will be done by close of business on Friday so everyone can enjoy the weekend. We also actually do another check-in on Wednesday, right? To go, hey, we'll just text message all the staff or send them a voicemail. Hey, how are you going with all your weekly tasks? If there's anything you won't be able to complete by Friday, please let me know so we can make sure you help, or if there's anything you're unsure about, right? So they know we're checking in. They know that we're going to check their Asana. They know we're going to check their checklist, because we need this stuff all done to grow our business. So you have to make sure that your manager is a great people person, but also is very systems orientated, where he or she will keep people accountable, right, to doing what's needed to grow the business. And the last three are more, company ones, but your managers will be in your head of staff, kind of higher level staff will be involved in these, and definitely usually the owners, especially in the 90-day and the annual. But the next one's the monthly marketing plan. And this is so integral for a business. If you want to hit that high 6 figures, 7 figures, you have to be an absolute beast at marketing. So we would have a 1-hour marketing meeting where we'd cover, what our offers are for the month, how our referral stats are, how can we improve them. We'd look over our organic marketing, plan all our posts, know what videos we're posting, how many testimonials we had, and would really load everything into Asana that we need to do. Every post, every email. We knew when the Facebook ads were going up and what the offers were exactly. We kind of ran the same offer at 28-day all the time, right? But they would know what the offers were and what our marketing routine was and what our pillars were and how many leads we were looking to acquire that month. And I can't stress this enough, how important this marketing meeting is, because it's really what drives the growth within your business. And just meeting up with maybe yourself, definitely when you have a VA who's helping, they'll be involved in this, and just mapping everything out really systematically, where you're like, awesome, these are all the posts for the month. These are the ads, this is what we're doing. And you can sit back and relax, and everything's in your team's Asana, and you don't have to worry about it, especially with things like referral challenges, right? Really big. Once a quarter, you run a referral challenge, and there's so many little tasks to do with that you have to map out, posting on the groups, messaging the clients, everything like that to make it successful. And just putting that in your team's Asana, and they can just do it without you, is a thing of beauty once it happens for the first time. I can't stress that enough, how well planned you have to be to have this high 6-figure or 7-figure business. In this marketing meeting, obviously I love marketing. So it's very, very important to me. And this was the meetings I absolutely loved. I still love within our Inner Circle program, planning our marketing every single month together. Now, the next two are vitally important, and I'm not going to cover them because it could be a whole podcast one day just on these two. But the next one's your 90-day planning. What's your goals over the next 90 days? What's your 3 big rocks in your business? And in this 90-day planning, you're reviewing how your marketing's going. You're reviewing your sales. You're reviewing your operations. You're reviewing your checklist. Is there anything you can cut? But you want to have a deep look over your business every 90 days. And then make a game plan for the team on what we're going to focus on. Now, an amazing book for this is Vern Harnish, Scaling Up. I highly recommend you get it. It's absolutely amazing book. Teaches you a lot of this stuff. Okay, but your 90-day planning. And if you're interested, reach out to me. I can make sure I do a podcast just specifically on 90-day planning. If it interests you, you can find me on Gym Growth with Jimi Pomponi on Facebook. You can add me as a friend. We can chat. I'll make sure I get that done for you. And the next one, which is going to be super relevant because you do this in January, is your annual planning. And your annual planning is, where is the business going over the next 12 months? How many members do we want to be at this time next year? But then you're breaking it down systematically, not based on what you think your numbers will be, but based on what your numbers have been over the last year. Going, hey, to add this many members, you should know this is exactly how many leads we need to generate each week. Because if we get this many leads, we'll close this many trial sales, this many full price sales. This will be our predicted trend on cancellations as we grow, right? Because your cancellation's a percentage. So, if your cancellation rate is 90%, which means if you have 100 clients at the start of the month, 10 leave, well, if you get to 150 and your retention rate stays the same, you'll lose 15 clients. Now, I'm able to kind of rattle this stuff off like pretty quickly. And if you're unsure about it, I would highly recommend you join our Inner Circle program so I can help you on this stuff. But you need to know these numbers to have a high 6-figure or 7-figure business. And also in that annual planning session, you're like, hey, do we need to bring on any new team this year? Are you as a business owner going away for a 2, 4, or 6 week period? You kind of map that all out for everyone. And what are our big pillar events? What's all the monthly community event that we're running? It might be like, Tough Mudder or a local fun run or beers and banter that you're doing. You're mapping all this out so it's in a nice content calendar. Okay. And you're also looking for any weaknesses and any opportunities within the business so that you know exactly what the next 12-month looks like. And then obviously once you have that, you break your blocks into 90 days. So if you want to add 100 full price members over the next 12 months, that in the next quarter, if you don't add 25 members full price, you're behind the 8 ball, right? So doing this annual planning is going to give you a guideline and tracking on whether you're actually on time and on target to hit your goals. So that you might have to go harder in the next quarter, you might have to go easier. And you're also in these meetings, I recommend it, is review your staff, right? Where can they improve? We had certain pillars, would rate them 1 out of 5, 5 being strong, 1 being weak. If someone's giving us a rating of 2 on sales, guess what? With the manager, they're going to do sales training for 8 weeks. Because if we can get that person from a 2 to a 4, our business just grew, right? Our business just got better. Our business just got stronger. Okay. And guys, if you ever want to cover this in a little bit more detail, or if you would like me to pass on the exact, templates that we use for this meeting, reach out to me on Gym Growth with Jimi Pomponi, and I'm happy to share with you over the exact documents that we use. You can copy, paste, you can edit them within your business so that they work for you and you have this really high 6-figure or, hopefully a 7-figure business, because that's an amazing feeling. Your first year, when you do $1 million turnover, I still remember it quite clearly. Is absolutely amazing. And I really hope that everyone listening to this podcast gets to feel that one day, because it's incredibly exciting and you're incredibly, incredibly proud. So guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you got a, little bit of goodwill and you absolutely loved it and you're going to go and implement them. And what I always want to say from here, guys, is what to do from here. Right? What you need to do from here is I rattled off a ton of information. You need to go back and re-listen to this podcast. And I don't expect you to implement every meeting as of today. There will be a couple of people who go absolutely beast mode and do, and congratulations to you. I love that. I love people who take work really hard and just fucking go, this is what I do and do it. But I want you to review it and then at least implement one of these meetings. At least implement your weekly team meeting or your daily huddles after the classes. And then you can systematically add them over time. As I said, if you want to go beast mode and add them all in, go nuts, right? But don't listen to this podcast and do absolutely nothing about it and, waste your time, waste my time. Just implement one of them in to your business. And I promise you, every meeting that I said today had a positive effect on my businesses, had a positive effect on me as a business owner, had a positive effect on our teams. So if you can just implement one of them, the one that gave you that light bulb moment, and you're like, wow, okay, that one really resonated with me. It's going to add something positive to my business. Just go and do it. Don't think about it. Just go and do it. Get it done. Your business is going to grow. You're going to be better planned. You're going to get more done, and you're going to get that little bit of success from the 20 to 25 minutes we spent together today. So guys, thank you so much. Remember, if you got value from this, please share it with someone in the fitness industry who owns a gym. I just want to help you guys as much as I can and share a bit of knowledge that I learned along the way. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you.